preferably before I have a student at 10 o'clock. This is an English student. It's a new English teacher, and we will be doing grammar and punctuation and stuff like that. It's very different from TEFL, being honest, but I find both TEFL and the SKE classes that I do, which are the classes aimed at natives, are really useful. They're very different kinds of classes, but they really complement each other very well. So let's have a look at the what my Italian student has written for this question. This is a question we've already looked at. Yeah, the first text is being at home. Of course, it's summarize and evaluate the key points in both texts. So being at home, we've already read through this. I did this a few weeks ago, and it was with the student whose essays we have just looked at. In fact, she wrote an answer to this. So for some people, it is only at home that they can truly relax. It is the place they go to recover from both the excitements and the stress of their everyday life. The noisy hubbub of the city, the pressures of study and work, and the busy commute through rush hour traffic. They appreciate the opportunity to reflect on, not about, all that has happened that day. They can contemplate the day's significant events, either in the peace and quiet of their own room or through participating in a discussion over a meal. That's either or correlative conjunction, and it could have been more parallel. Yeah, and so the guys writing the CPE need to study parallel structure a bit more. So for many of us, life at home can be rather restrictive or simply dull. So we escape to public places where we can socialize and be ourselves, such as cafes and coffee bars. Yet home is still a place where people can express their personalities. The choice of furniture, the color scheme, and the paintings or posters displayed on the walls will all say a great deal about the person who lives there. Visiting a friend's home for the first time may well reveal aspects of their personality which were previously unknown to us. Okay, so let's have a look at the what the student's written. Now, I've put in some grey parts here, and you might be thinking, what have you done that for? Well, I've just tried to highlight that the student has reused many words that are in the text. Now, I'm well aware that it is literally impossible to not reuse some of the words in the text. So don't think that I'm having a right go at him. I'm not complaining. I do appreciate that it's really, really tricky to avoid just repeating the words in the text. But that's why we're looking at it this time, because I want to give some advice about what other words he could have used. Now, I don't think he's done it terribly. I don't think that this is all just I don't think he's rewritten what we've just read out. Certainly not. However, you do want to avoid using precisely the same expressions that are in that text, just because if they notice that you've used quite a few of them, you're going to start to lose marks. Anyway, let's look at the essay. Social life away from home, such as in a cafe or in a disco, is what people look for in order to escape from the dullness and the restrictions of their lives at home. So we did get the word dull and restrictions. I agree he's changed them though, and it sounds good. We didn't get dullness, we got dull. And so that's good, he's changed them. From the dullness and the restrictions of their lives at home, yet it is only at home that people can relax and express themselves. Remember, relax and express themselves, I think, are both in the original text. Yeah, let's have a look, that they can truly relax. And then we had express their personalities down here, reveal aspects of their personality. So we want to try and avoid using the same words. The first text suggests that it is only at home that people can truly relax. We had truly relax as well. And this was what was bothering me. Having studied at university or having worked all day, great start, nice, perfect participle, fronted, people need to recover. Yeah. Now, recover is in the original text. How about people need to unwind? And I'm only suggesting it just because the more it sounds like your own words, but still the same, a good summary of the text, the higher your mark will be. So people need to unwind or to recover, but that was in the original text. And the best place to do this is at their homes. It is only at home that people can reflect on. Remember, we saw reflect on here. So we're using the same words. So definitely don't change the preposition to reflect about. It's not going to be right. Reflect on. Now, I've offered some other words here because reflect on is in the original text. Can analyze their lives, can evaluate the day, can assess their success at work or whatever, but can analyze their lives, evaluate their lives, assess their lives, and think about what happened during the day. And I like this sentence here. If you had a row with one of your colleagues, you can talk about it with your family during dinner, and they might give you a good suggestion about how to deal with that particular situation. So we say how and then to plus infinitive, yeah, always, and never how and gerund. It's always how to do, how to win, how to have, yeah, how to deal with that particular situation. And yeah, this is a cleft sentence, which is why we need that. It is only at home that people can reflect on their lives, yeah, because you could just say people can only reflect on their lives at home, but we split it into two and say it is only at home that people can reflect on their lives. So good for using a cleft sentence. There is a nice bit of exotic grammar. And remember, you don't use articles with breakfast, lunch and dinner. You have breakfast, you have lunch, you have dinner, and it's during dinner as well. Okay, the second text says that if, I think you need, although I think it's a different subordinating conjunction you need here, because I think you're setting up a contrast. Although sometimes we think of life at home as a boring and restrictive life, well, why life twice? Yeah. How about, I just missed this the first time, sorry guys, as boring and restrictive. Yeah. I mean, why not that? It just sounds more natural to me. That although sometimes we think of life at home as boring and restrictive, it is a place in which we can express ourselves. Now, express ourselves is straight from the text. So how about it is a place in which we convey aspects of our character, yeah, or we reveal, we expose aspects of our character. Yeah, we display the aspects of our character in the furniture, in the decoration. Yeah, we've got to change it a little bit just to get better marks. Now, this student likes correlative conjunctions too, and I'm getting my kids to use them in their essays as well, because I know it sounds clever, especially if it's in parallel. And of course, the Italian has not let us down. Either doing up your house in a particular style, there's your first gerund phrase, or choosing the paintings to decorate the walls. Now, the reason I've changed it to decorate the walls rather than to display on the walls is just because the paintings displayed on the walls is from the text above. And so let's change it a little bit to, or choosing the paintings to decorate the walls. These can reveal your personality and your taste. I like that sentence. I thought it's a very clever sentence. It sounds intelligent, sounds good, but do consider changing display to decorate. So I am used to displaying on my wall. That would be displaying. I didn't like any of that because we don't say that. I am used to displaying on my wall. I am used to putting pictures up on my wall, maybe, but display, it sounds really odd. I am used to displaying pictures on my wall. How about this? On my walls, there are several posters with quotes from, not of, from my favorite movies and TV shows, not series, TV shows. Yeah, favorite movies and TV shows, semicolon, good. Separating main clauses. Not watching these posters. Watching sounds like it's for a very long time. Looking at these posters, people that come into my home for the first time could have an idea about my taste in films, not my film taste, my taste in films, and they might understand a bit more about my personality. Okay, despite having a social life can help. No, despite the fact that having a social life can help people to escape from the dullness of life at home, I think it is only at their homes that people can relax and truly express themselves. Again, we got that truly express, which is from the text. And so twice in the essay, I would avoid that. I would avoid it if possible. Spending much time at home can reveal, or spending a lot of time at home can reveal, well, it said reveal above, so how about expose? Can expose aspects of their personalities. How about can expose character traits? I'm just trying to avoid personality, because we had that above, that they might not have been aware of before. I've put this modal verb into the past. Now, I'm pleased to say my student immediately got in touch with me after sending me this essay and said it should have been, might not have been. So he knew this mistake. He saw this mistake immediately, which is why it's always worth reading through your work. Okay. That's the first essay. I thought it was very good, but I didn't think it was quite as good as the second essay, the report, which I thought was really impressive. Okay, so this one I thought was slightly lower quality, in my opinion. Yeah, and the main thing is change these words to something else. Do change these words to something else and avoid some of the mistakes. But let's go on to the report. The aim of this report, I don't think you need to read the question here, it's quite clear, but the aim of this report is to describe my experience as a coach at a sports camp last summer. During this period, I coached teenagers last summer. What a shame, yeah. This essay is brilliant. The main thing that spoils it is this present perfect obsession. Yeah, when we're dealing with last summer, you can't talk about last summer in present perfect. It's finished. So during this period, I coached teenagers in sports, comma, such as soccer and tennis, comma, trying to encourage them to take up new sports. I would describe my responsibilities as a coach, and I will give some recommendations in the conclusion. So soccer, for the first month, I was a soccer coach. Not I have been. Yeah, it's finished that month. It's last summer. So for the first month, I was a soccer coach of a team of 20 teenagers. I was helped, not have been helped. I was helped by another coach that had trained, good tense there. Yeah, and that's why we need past simple here and not present perfect, because I was helped by another coach, and that coach had trained the team the previous year. It was not easy at first, since the youngsters were not disciplined and organized, and they did not listen to my orders and instructions, not advices. It would be advice, because advice is uncountable, but my orders and advice sounds strange to me. My orders and my instructions sounds better. Nonetheless, after 2 weeks, I managed to make them a team that worked together, and they started to pay attention to my suggestions and strategies, not suggestions about strategies. No, suggestions and strategies. You might say to my suggestions on strategy, maybe my suggestions on something. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't correct it. But I think suggestions and strategies sounds good. It's all parallel, plural and plural. And you've got that s and s, yeah, both S words, you know, it's nice. For the second month, I trained, not have trained, 2 girls as a tennis coach. We played in one of the courts at the sports camp, and sometimes we did physical exercise at the gym. The 2 girls had never played tennis before, so I helped them with the basics, such as how to hold the racket and how to strike the ball. I like the how to verb, in fact, how to verb object. It's lovely. It was difficult at the beginning because I was the only coach and I had to train them one at a time. There is an article there, one at a time. But I think they enjoyed playing tennis with me, and they said to me that they wanted to keep practicing when they returned home. That's a fantastic paragraph. What a shame about the present perfect. I'd have more or less given this full marks if it wasn't for the present perfect. Yeah, there's several mistakes in it. All in all, I think the sports camp was a valuable experience for the teenagers. They learned how to behave themselves, and they had a good time learning new sports. I would only recommend a second coach could be taken on for the tennis course, so the teenagers would receive more attention, particularly if they are beginners. Superb finish. Yeah, I thought that was a great answer as a report. I thought it was absolutely the right style. It was all relevant. He included everything in there. I only put him down on communicative achievement to 4, and that's mainly because present perfect. Yeah, they're not going to like it. The examiners will see that immediately, the present perfect mistake. It will stand out, and sadly, it's going to bring it down. But apart from that, it's brilliant. It's a really good essay. So yeah, the moral of the story here is do read through your essay again, because I'm pretty sure that my student would notice this mistake and would then quickly change it. But it's a very good essay. If we ignore the present perfect mistakes, it's a very good essay, very clear, very original, some good ideas in there for answering the questions, very relevant, and yeah, a well-written essay and very few mistakes with the exception of present perfect. So well done. Okay, so that's all we're looking at for today. I've got to get ready for my next class now. I'll be putting all of these lessons up on my website, which is over there. You can see it over there. Yeah, I've managed to put skypelessons.com. Come here for new classes and free exercises. They're all up there, guys. What are you waiting for? Go to my website and you can get loads of free stuff and loads of new stuff, loads of new lessons. So thanks, everybody, for coming. I appreciate all your support, and I hope to see you all soon. I've got a dash now. I want to get a coffee before my class.